What going on, YouTube? Yeah. It's your boy Rrealdyll. And today we reacting to something different today, you feel me? I want to get into this shit because it's a lot of controversy behind this turkey leg hut shit, my nigga. And shit, I actually had the chance to actually go out there and visit Turkey Leg Hut in Houston. And that shit was hidden. I'm probably gonna drop a video on the side of this bitch. But just know I had some crazy shit with the turkey leg. It was like some honey bourbon glaze. Nah, Hennessy goddamn barbecue glaze, some shit like that. But that shit was busting, my nigga. And it wasn't even that expensive, you feel me? But shit, that was early, like damn near COVID when I went out there and visited Houston and shit. But shit, it just seemed like, bruh, these niggas was in the motion in headlines really for so much bullshit. Then I seen they got shut down and shit. I was like, damn. I remember at a point in time they was like, oh, a nigga can't wear certain type of clothes and shit. But it just didn't make sense. Like, it was all these rules, but you know, if you kind of like in the trenches in the streets a little bit, you see shit. Like they had good Zaza. I'm talking about that shit hit the streets and that shit was flooded. Like that bitch was booming, blowing out the ass. You had that turkey leg hut pack on my mama. That shit almost more mythical than the Dut pack, my nigga. I can't cap. That shit came and went. It said this. The only reason why it's more mythical is it's just not coming back. We know it is never coming back, my nigga. Cause damn, they locked my nigga up, I think. But shit, bro, we just finna get straight into this video, man. See what's going on, bro. Let me know if y'all fucking with these type of videos. Once again, it's Rrealdyll. If you new to this bitch, like, drop a comment, subscribe to me. That's all I want you to do, my nigga. Just drop a little sub, my nigga. I'm trying to hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. I'm gonna be a little realistic. If it can happen faster, my nigga, on God, I'll be. Thank God, you feel me? But I'm trying to hit 500 subs before the end of the summer, my nigga. But let's get straight to it.
Nobody wins when the family feels, but my.
Like, damn. I seen they had the niggas goddamn burn another nigga bar down. That's fucked up.
And cheese on top of a turkey leg.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right here.
And cheese on top.
No cap. This ain't the Hennessy glaze, motherfucker. But this shit right here, I had this shit too. My homeboy had this shit when we was out there. Hidden. I'm talking about tender ass turkey leg, boy.
Top of a turkey leg, like
this ain't your average fair turkey leg. You know how you get that turkey leg from the field. You gotta. These bitches fall straight off the bone. You get the fork, that bitch just boom.
I changed the game with this one.
Out. Yeah.
I tell you, the turkey leg is so tender. It just, like I said, falling off the bone.
If you're in Houston, you have to come to the Turkey Leg Hut. It is so worth the wait.
Price, owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
Hi, I'm Lyndell Price, the owner of Turkey Leg Hut in Houston, Texas.
Oh God, Suge Knight looking at that nigga. You could tell he a menace. You could tell he don't give a fuck. He trying to get straight to the bag.
You feel what I'm saying? It's the level of respect. And I don't get disrespect. I'm all right in the hood. You know, people respect me.
I'm all right in the hood. So the thing
that you came in my restaurant to fight, that was my first incident of a fight since our restaurant has ever been open.
Oh, wow. Yep. That's impressive.
Yeah.
With a black business.
Damn.
And we see 30-some thousand people a week.
How many people a week?
30-some thousand.
Oh, so y'all niggas is killing it.
No, we ain't killing, we murdering it. Nigga, stop playing with me.
No.
30,000.
We murdering, my nigga.
No.
Damn.
You don't need another shot.
Today, we call it shot o'clock.
No.
The once popular Turkey Leg Hut is officially closed. A judge converted the Third Ward establishment's Chapter 11 bankruptcy to Chapter 7, clearing the way for the restaurant's landowner to terminate the lease. This is new video from today showing the closed restaurant on Alameda. As you can see, all of the iconic signs are now gone. All assets are to be sold to repay creditors. This has been months in the making with a series of headlines from bankruptcy.
Fam, most of us familiar with this quote growing up. You don't truly understand or experience life until you face obstacles that test your character. Whether that means turning to a life of crime or stand on a straight and narrow path to achieve your goals. It seems
that's real shit right there, no cap. That's why I said in that young boy video, if you ain't check that shit out, bro. A lot of niggas be speaking on shit, but they ain't never been through a goddamn thing in their motherfucking life. And that's just real life, bro. You never know what you'll do when it's time to goddamn do what you need to do.
like trusting the people you believe in can become a challenge, especially when success is long lasting. Yet, adversity strikes unexpectedly. Fam, you ever met a person who didn't know how to accept no in no way, shape, or form? And in return, they lost everything they worked so hard for, fighting for what they used to be. Today, we're going to discuss a story that amplifies this struggle.
I refuse to be that shit. I swear to God, bro. I love saying no, my nigga. When I tell you I love saying no, hell no. You in the way, get the fuck on. I ain't never had to have to ask for no fucking handout for real, nigga. Figure that shit out yourself. And sometimes I'll fuck with you. I ain't gonna sound like an asshole, but 9 times out of 10, I'll be real with you. I'm an asshole, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to go. You feel me? I fuck with who fuck with me. And that's it.
A story about a man who faced tremendous loss over the past few years. Bankruptcy, losing his wife, his restaurant, his family, and now even his freedom. And a recent indictment from the feds has shined light on his controversial actions. This man is accused of burning out his competition, literally, alleging stealing recipes, selling drugs when the business was slow, and even using a restaurant logo to put on these narcotics. Not to mention, he scammed a gospel singer and his wife who were invested in the business. In this video, we dive into the story, examine the details of his recent arrest, and explore the events that led to his current situation. But before we break this one down, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fam, meeting Nakia Holmes and her ex-husband, Lyndell Lynn Price.
See, I'm a real nigga. I'ma subscribe to this shit. Shout out to the family, my nigga. Y'all niggas going crazy.
Holmes and Price started the Turkey Leg Hut in 2015 in a parking lot across the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. 2 years later, they moved their bustling business to 4830 Amanda Street, where fans formed lines around the back waiting to get their hands on fall-off-the-bone turkey legs, covered in shrimp Alfredo, dirty rice, or other savory toppings like crawfish, macaroni, and cheese. What began with 30 legs a week on a smoky pit had ballooned to hundreds in a matter of days thanks to demand.
I always say the world is going to taste our food.
Meet Nakia and Lynn Price, founders of the Turkey Leg Hut restaurant in Houston, Texas.
You know, we came up with the concept. People encourage.
Hennessy Glaze. Top Dot Cabbage.
Restaurant in Houston, Texas.
You know, we came.
That bitch was buzzing. You see what I'm saying? Little $20. That mango habanero, that shit was hot than a hotter than a motherfucker, boy. I'm talking about like real heat, man. They use real habaneros in that bitch for sure.
Came up with the concept. People encouraged us, and before we knew it, it took off. We probably do about 45,000 turkey legs in a week. Still to this day, I'm amazed to see that line wrapped around the building.
Here we go! Ford F-150 truck has played a major role pulling a barbecue pit.
We don't have to bring out a generator. To be able to plug up our food truck from our vehicle, I mean, it's genius. You're always on the go, so it's easy for me to be able to plug up what I need. It's made our life easier.
Innovation, my nigga. It was definitely getting too. I can't believe they really.
We've worked hard to get here. But we just this small little restaurant. But I've always said proof is in the pudding.
That shit bad to see, bro. This shit show you, bro, like owning and operating a business, bro, is real ups and downs to this shit for real. Like, I got a clothing brand right now, my nigga. Now, I ain't saying my shit ass or nothing, you feel me? But, you know, it's ups and downs with this shit. For real, my nigga. It's gonna be days. There's gonna be days where you have 5, 10, 20 sales. There's gonna be days when you ain't got nothing. And that shit hurt, bro. You gotta really know how to manage your money, man. That's what I really try to preach that shit around everybody, bro. See, me, I'm a preacher. Preacher, man, deal. But on God, you gotta know how to manage that motherfucking money, man. That shit real life, bro. We in real life 2025. Donald Trump is our president, my nigga.
Why work for someone else's dreams when you can do it for yourself?
Now, Turkey Leg Hunt has seen some highs and lows in its near decade of opening. The restaurant went viral when the owners instituted a dress code after complaints of women and men entering the business with little to no clothing.
The Third Ward's Turkey Leg Hut is getting national attention this weekend after implementing a controversial dress code. Fox 26's Chelsea Edwards tells us why the popular restaurant is now in the hot seat.
Turkey Leg Hut was trending nationwide on Twitter after posting these new dress code rules. Some say it alienates their customers. Others say it's about time. Turkey Leg Hut draws in crowds from across the nation with its famously stuffed.
This is what I'm saying, bro. You a black-owned business, bro. You got to understand what you getting yourself into. I can't say I disagree with this shit, but at the same time, I feel like it was low-key a bit much, my nigga. Mind you, it's their business. They can run it how they want to, but if you know about 75% of your customers are black, my nigga, if they the ones who really feeding your pockets, man, putting the food on the table for your family, man, fuck all that. Oh, you can't come in there with a motherfucking swimsuit. Like, bro, you in Houston, bro. You know how many people travel from out of hella different states to come to Houston, my nigga? They out here doing all type of shit, my nigga. You can't just do us like that, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I put that shit on. I ain't gonna lie. I be trying to put that shit on. So I ain't just coming in that bitch all crazy. Just a white beater. Like, I ain't no white beater walking around that nigga. That just ain't me. You feel me? My people taught me better than that. But you know, everybody ain't like that, bro. And you just gotta really accept people for who they are. That's how I feel.
Legs. That's what the restaurant says it wants to see less of in this dress code posted Friday that excludes bonnets.
Like, come on, bro. No do-rags? No do-rags, my nigga? That's crazy. Now, the undergarment shit, bitches do be coming in that bitch damn near naked half the time. But we live in America. We live in America, my nigga.
And exposed undergarment.
It ain't right. But damn, my nigga, just do something. Like, I don't know. I feel that shit. That shit is kind of troll. And you don't want your business to be overly ghetto either, because you just ain't never gonna get them other customers. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you ain't gonna branch out.
Garments and states all body parts must be completely covered.
It makes your meal much more pleasant. You had to change her clothes.
Critics cooked up social media jokes featuring black tie and Amish attire as the new requirement, but others accused the restaurant of kicking out the same fan base that made them popular, even calling the owners racist.
We're a restaurant and we're not a club, let alone a strip club.
The restaurant says its family-friendly atmosphere has been taking a hit during the return to summer fun, with some customers complaining about what was hanging out at the table next to them.
As we see, people coming in with pants all the way below the bottom of their derriere. We see, women coming in with nothing but exposed butt and thigh.
They also say the first post was a draft, not meant to be published. It was replaced with...
Let me know how y'all feel about that shit, nigga. If y'all had a restaurant, would y'all do some shit like that? You feel me? Because, I mean, to each his own. To each his own. It is a family-friendly restaurant. I understand that shit. That's tough.
This list that prohibits excessively revealing clothing.
It was not implemented to change our image. We still like to have a good time, but at the same time, it's an environment where there are children here, there are older people here.
Turkey Leg Hut says there are no other changes in the works, but guests who don't follow the guidelines may be turned away.
I would think it's appropriate for them to cover up. I mean, if you're coming here and you're coming here for business, you don't want to come here for that.
Leaving some diners to enjoy their turkey meat while seeing less.
Back on March 26, 2024, the Turkey Leg Hunt owner, Nakia Holmes, had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, according to court record. But it was the information that was provided during that time that was alarming. In the Southern District of Texas, stating that in the past few months of the time of her filing bankruptcy, Her business was riddled with controversy. Via Instagram, she quoted, "The company has initiated a voluntary court-supervised process that will allow it the necessary flexibility to continue ongoing discussions with all financial stakeholders. In connection with the filing, the company has sought approval to continue its operations while meeting its obligations to all stakeholders, employees, suppliers, and vendors." According to court records, the owner had listed 19 creditors with the estimated liability of $1 million and $10 million. Two of the largest accounts including the amount of $1.9 million and a disputed amount of $932,000. But it's a guy named Rogers, who's now the owner of Bar 5015 in the 3rd Ward. He filed a lawsuit against his colleagues, who he used to work for, in 2020. In his suit, he alleged the restaurant's majority owner, Nakia Holmes, formerly Price, was diverting funds, customers, and supplies to her other food trucks and catering businesses without compensating Rogers.
See what I'm saying, man? That shit tough, bro. All that going into business. You can't just be going into business with anybody, bro. Because it's like, bro, you never know their motive, bro. But you just never know. Like, when people get them M's, when people start seeing them M's, and they got to dish out 60% of that shit, they only coming back with shit 200, 300, 400,000. Like, man, not everybody gonna like that shit. Some people can't pay that ticket.
And other shareholders. But later that year, Roger Bar would be lit on fire during the 2020, and it would take to 2025 to know why. Apparently, of course, the lawsuit, but Roger also took the recipe, the supplier, from the turkey leg hunt and made it his for Bar 5150, and apparently that was the key ingredient to the turkey leg hunt.
Burnt that shit down. I don't blame him. That's lame as hell. You gonna take that? You gonna take my main ingredient, my nigga? You gonna take my main ingredient that I use to get my turkey legs right, my nigga?
According to the feds, Lynn Price, the former owner of the turkey leg hunt, allegedly paid a group of men $1,400 to set the bar on fire. But then more information was coming out. James Fortune, a Grammy-nominated gospel singer, and his wife had filed a lawsuit against Nakia Price. After finding out that she had filed for bankruptcy, it seems they claimed they loaned her hundreds of thousands of dollars to help keep the restaurant afloat. The lawsuit also indicates the claim that Fortune and his wife invested nearly $400,000 in the restaurant, including $180,000 for a 15% ownership stake. The couple is seeking to recover their investment and expenses.
But first tonight, more legal trouble for Houston's well-known turkey leg hut.
A Grammy-nominated gospel singer James Fortune and his wife are now suing the restaurant's owner over claims they put more than $300,000 into the restaurant and are now out of the money. Sherman Chow joins us live with the story you'll see only on KHU 11 News. Sherman, this is just the latest problem for this popular restaurant.
It is indeed, Mia. We are outside of Turkey Leg Hut, which remains closed because of 35 health department code violations. And now a new lawsuit has been filed, and we are learning exclusively that a nationally known gospel artist says he and his wife have been violated too.
James Fortune, gospel singer, husband, and investor. In 2018, he and wife Rrealdyll met Nakia and Lyndell Price at the Price's popular 3rd Ward restaurant. Turkey Leg Hut seemed the epitome of success.
We go to their home. We spend time, our kids interacted with each other.
Then last December, as the Prices were in the throes of a contentious divorce.
Look at what that money made that bitch do. I'm telling you, boy. If you ever go into business with anybody, they say not to go in business with family, bro. You just gotta really go in that bitch with somebody you really trust and you really know, like, damn near since Sandbox type shit, cause shit get wicked behind that paper.
The Fortunes say they loaned Nakia, as the restaurant's owner, $100,000. 2 months later, Rrealdyll says Nakia phoned.
She was hysterical because the comptrollers were physically there to seize assets, and so she needed financial assistance immediately.
The Fortunes then say they put in $180,000 for 15% ownership of the Turkey Leg Hut. The next month, the Fortunes tell us Nakia couldn't pay bills.
So she asked if I would use my personal...
Couldn't pay bills? So you selling all these turkey legs. All these motherfucking turkey legs. You got millions of people coming to your restaurant. And you broke? Money management. Specifically for us. Money management. Stop trying to look rich and be rich. Secure the bag. Dumb bitch.
Card to purchase food for the business.
The Fortunes say they spent thousands paying for food supplies and services. Then, on March 26th, Turkey Leg Hut filed for bankruptcy, declaring less than $50,000 in assets.
By then, we're, $300,000 in. Bankruptcy was filed a month after we had given that money. We come to find out there's millions in debt now.
Over the past several weeks, I went to the Turkey Leg Hut, contacted employees, attorneys, and Nakia Holmes requesting an interview, which she declined. The Fortunes say in hopes of keeping the restaurant afloat, they even paid some employees when Turkey Leg Hut did not.
Did you take a business risk and it just didn't work, as opposed to something more nefarious?
I think I allowed my friendship to blind me in a lot of areas. It's no words to describe the level of pain, hurt, and frustrations.
The Fortunes say they put in nearly $400,000.
I'd be ready to kill some shit, but I put $400, almost $500,000 in your business, bitch, and you filed for bankruptcy. I'm straight. Hold on, I'm gonna do some fair shit. I ain't gonna lie. Miki. On my mama. $400,000? You playing?
$1,000 into the restaurant. Now they are suing and pray in hopes of getting their money back.
Now, we should note that some of the players in this ongoing Turkey Leg Hut drama do have criminal convictions, including James Fortune. Those are from several years past and are unrelated to Turkey Leg Hut and this lawsuit. I did contact Nakia Holmes yesterday again for comment.
See, this is why I don't fuck with the news. What the fuck that shit got to do with anything, my nigga? What that shit got to do with them folks running off? You feel me? Just because you had a criminal past, my nigga, you could change, bitch. If y'all bitches can go do everything you want to do, then come back and act like ain't shit happen. Nigga, everybody could do that shit, nigga. People change. In real life, though. At the same time, people don't change. I ain't gonna lie. But throwing the criminal history up, demeaning a nigga character, you feel me, on the news, that shit lame as fuck.
Her representative declined a response.
As you can see, fam, at this point he had a lot going on. But little did he know, less than a year from then, the feds would come knocking on his door. On the last week of April of 2025, Price was arrested and accused of orchestrating the 2020 burning of Bar 5015 and a bar just blocks away from Turkey Leg Hut, which closed in 2024. The bar is owned by Steve Rogers, who is also co-owner of Turkey Leg Hut, which we briefly talked about. Two other men, John Lee Price and Amarni Williams, were also arrested as part of the same federal indictment. John Lee Price was arrested on federal drug charges in Mississippi in 2023. Federal prosecutors said while he was in custody, he was interviewed by the FBI, who had been investigating the fire since 2022. John Lee Price, who is not related to Lynn Price, admitted to his role in the fire and identified Lynn Price, his employer, as the person who orchestrated and organized the arson. John Lee Price also told the FBI agents that Lynn Price was using the
once again. I spoke on this briefly with the YSL situation. If you did the fucking crime, my nigga, I don't give a fuck what them folks tell you, bro. You just got it. You might as well just take it, bro, because you done did it. Because, bro, thinking shit gonna be sweet after you snitch, bro, like you think them folks just gonna forget about that shit. He done did time with you too. Nigga, you finna get touched eventually, my nigga. The Fed's not gonna save you, bro. They not gonna protect you like that, my nigga. You think they is, but I promise you, you will, my nigga. You will get touched 9 times out of 10. You have to change your name, go to a different country, do some other shit.
Turkey Leg Hut to store hundreds of pounds of Mary Jane. He told the feds that the marijuana would be sold at the restaurant and packaged and bearing the business name. During testimony that lasted more than an hour, investigators uncovered evidence that showed Lynn Price threatened Rogers after he bought the bar 5015 in 2019. Rogers told the FBI that he initially considered partner with Lynn and Nakia Holmes, Price's ex-wife and another Turkey Leg Hut owner, in ownership of the bar, but decided against it. Rogers' decision upset Lynn Price. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price brought a box of cash to the bar to attempt to buy the business. The offer was rejected. Lynn Price later called and sent messages to Rogers complaining about the bar. In some of the messages, Lynn Price said he was upset about the bar selling crawfish and using the same supplier as the turkey leg hunt. In others, he wrote that he was upset that the bartenders were gossiping about Price and Holmes. Rogers told the FBI that Lynn Price threatened to blow up the bar. In addition to John Lee Price's confession, Armani Williams also cooperated with investigators. The FBI tracked John Lee Price's cell phone to an area of the bar 5015 on the morning of the fire and uncovered early morning phone calls between Lynn Price and John Lee Price. Before and after the fire was set, at least 2 other men are believed to have participated in setting the fire. Neither has been charged, according to court records. John Lee Price told the FBI he received 2 payments from Lynn Price after the fire. The first was for $1,000, which was distributed to the crew. The second was for $400. Lynn Price is also charged with orchestrating the theft.
Now you going down to jail for $4,400. That's crazy as fuck, my nigga. You burned down a whole building. You ain't even get 10 bands out that shit, my nigga. You did that shit for $4,400. $4,400. They must have been fucked up.
And arson of a car, a 1975 Chevy Nova Blue, 2 months before the bar fire. John Lee Price allegedly told FBI agents that Lynn Price, for years, orchestrated the theft and illegal sales of cars, heavy equipment, and trailers. He also testified that the Nova belonged to a police officer. And when Lynn Price learned who the owner was, he ordered for the car to be destroyed. Now during this hearing, testimony from authorities also found weapons at Lynn Price's apartment, including guns registered to other people and a flamethrower. Lynn Price was a convicted felon from felony tax fraud charges in 2016 and is not permitted to own a gun. The prosecutor said he's not been charged with any weapon offenses. The prosecutors quoted that the number of accusations against him should support a decision to keep him in custody. Quoting, he's the orchestrator. He's the one who tries to keep his hands clean.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serra.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody. During a more than 2-hour hearing, an FBI agent testified that Price paid $1,400 to have his ex-business partner's bar, 5015, blown up nearly 5 years ago. This is surveillance.
I thought he said it was $4,400. I thought he got paid $4,400. If he did that shit for $1,400, on God, that shit crazy as fuck, for real, for real.
Video from that early morning in June of 2020 when masked men poured gasoline all over the patio before that fire that then caused an explosion and destroyed the building. An indictment unsealed last week alleges that Lynn Price orchestrated this plan. The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up. So in the past, Lynn Price went to federal prison on tax fraud related charges. Once he got out on supervised release, prosecutors allege that he's been involved in other criminal activity, including paying a co-defendant in this arson case to steal vehicles and heavy machinery. The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana.
That truck right there is true. I see why them folks ain't had no motherfucking money. That nigga got the 40s on that bitch. The wheels alone, my nigga. Them wheels alone, at least 25,000 right there. Then he go King Ranch F-150. Not F-150, King Ranch motherfucker. That's like 25, 3,500. Boom, $140,000 right there.
Marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging. Prosecutors alleged.
I'm telling y'all, boy, that hydro's That turkey leg pack, my nigga. I'm telling you, anybody you know, you was in Atlanta. If you was in Atlanta or Florida, anywhere around there, bro, that's how far that shit was going. 2020 to 2021, 2022. Nah, I really say about 2021, 2022 for sure. He had that shit booming, on God. Like, I know they was moving at least 100 pounds. 100 pounds plus, my nigga, because that shit, but that shit was some Zaza. I ain't gonna cap.
Lynn Price got the proceeds and gave some of the money to that coach.
And not none of that spray pack either. I know a lot of y'all fuck with that spray. Put that shit down, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. This shit was real Zaza. You heard it right here. Hydro marijuana from California. I don't know what grower he had, but that was some strong ass weed right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Co-defendant, and while he's not charged connected to those allegations specifically, Price's attorney argues he is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after natural disasters.
Mr. Lyndell Price deserves a bond for various reasons. One being that he's not a danger to the community. You heard multiple testimony as it relates to his community involvement, the things that he does for the community. But more importantly, the co-defendants that are on his indictment have all been given a bond. So we're asking for equity and asking for a bond similar to the other people on his indictment.
The federal judge ended this hearing by saying there's a lot to think about and she's going to chew on it. We don't yet know when she'll make a decision about keeping Lynn Price in custody.
And Bryce, we understand Lynn Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Now, around both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the two men were in touch.
And Bryce, we know you sat in court throughout the morning. What was Price's demand?
Oh, yeah, he's cooked. I ain't gonna lie, he's cooked. You stole a fucking police officer's Chevy Nova in Houston, Texas. Then you burn another nigga restaurant. You already a convicted felon. You ain't got no money. Now a real nigga got money. I'm pretty sure he put some of that cheese up. They filed for bankruptcy. I see through the bullshit. I know for sure that nigga probably got some money put up. But damn, my nigga, Suge Knight tripping.
Demeanor like in court today, and what do we know about what happens next?
Lisa, Lynn Price was still handcuffed and shackled. He was wearing an olive green jumpsuit. He had many people there to support him and seemed hopeful at the beginning of this hearing. He was nodding at them as they came in, but then as the hearing went on, he seemed to keep his head down. And then at times when some of these new allegations came out and were discussed, he would appear to react.
Well, I guess 50 Cent has some new content, because best believe they're going to make a new TV series out of this. It's a little different, but I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. This was the story of a restaurant business owner who got a divorce, indicted, and lost his business in less than 12 months. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today,
yeah, man, I ain't gonna care. Once the feds get on your ass, bro, you damn near over with. I ain't gonna lie. You playing with them folks' money. You talking about millions of dollars, my nigga. Millions of dollars. Then you striking everybody's shit. Striking cars. Selling za. This nigga damn near is on Power. Like, this is a real Power series, my nigga. And shit, I ain't gonna care. That shit fire. He a legend low key for this shit. He gonna get out about he gonna get out about 5 to 10. You know, he gonna do some time, bro. Cause there's just no way, bro. Like, that shit crazy. Like, that shit crazy as hell, man. Suge Knight. Praying for you, my boy. But you do the crime, you gotta do the time. Face that. But yeah, man, that's the end of the video, bro. I know this bitch long as shit, my nigga, but goddamn. Let me know how y'all feel about this shit, man. How y'all feel about Suge Knight. Let me quit calling that nigga that. But that nigga Price, man. Let me know how y'all feel about that nigga, bro. Fuck. That greed, man. That greed. Shit, kill yourself. No cap. But yeah. It's your boy Rrealdyll. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Shout out to family, bro. for this good information on these good folks, man. I ain't praying on black people downfall, you feel me? I want to see all my black kings and queens eat. But at the end of the day, you doing that fuck shit. Hey, it be like that. But yeah, man. It's your boy Rrealdyll. And I'm out.